Hi, myself is Sachin Goel. Now today I am going to explain my first English lecture, and the topic is the Parliament of India. This is my English lecture and the first ever English lecture I am going to present on YouTube. So if you haven't subscribed and like my channel, then please subscribe and like, because it will motivate me to upload the more videos not only in English but also in Hindi as well. So now I am going to explain the first topic, the Parliament of India, Part 1 in English mode. Now I am going to explain the first introduction. Now first of all, you will have to know the basic concept of the Parliament in our country. The system of Parliament is being taken by the Parliament of Britain. We all know very well that as per the Parliament of Britain, we have the two houses. The Lok Sabha functions as the House of Commons of Britain, and the Rajya Sabha functions as the House of Representative of Britain. Okay, and the other is the organs of the Parliament. Other is the organs of the Parliament. As we all know very well that the Parliament in India is consist of three. The first is Lok Sabha, second Rajya Sabha, third is President of India. We all know very well that the Lok Sabha is being elected directly by the people of our country, okay, and the Rajya Sabha is elected by the representative of the people of country who are in the state legislative assembly in the form of MLAs, and the president, who is the head of state in our country, is the supreme authority as per the Constitution of India. So these are the three parts in the Parliament of our country. Okay, now the third is subtitles of the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. As we all know very well that there are some subtitles as well. If you will consider the Lok Sabha, then the subtitles are two. The first is House of People. We all know very well that the House of People, the Lok Sabha, is also known as House of People because it is being elected directly by the people of our country. Is being elected directly by the people of our country. Okay, the people tend to go directly to cast their votes into the election votes. And what about the lower house? We all know very well that Lok Sabha has the fixed tenure of 5 years, and that's why it is also known as the lower house, because the authority of this house is supreme. It is more than it is more than Rajya Sabha, but still it is considered as a lower house because it is a dissolving house. It means it dissolves after the every 5 years, so that's why it is known as lower house. What about the Rajya Sabha? Now the Rajya Sabha has two names as well. The first is House of Elders and second is Upper House. The House of Elders, it means because it has the average age, it has the entry of average age more than the Lok Sabha. That's why it is also known as House of Elders, and because it is a permanent house, it cannot be dissolved at any given time. That's why it is also known as Upper House. So this is all about the Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha's subtitles. Now we will move towards the tenure of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. First of all, we will have to cover the tenure of Lok Sabha. Here, we all know very well that the tenure of Lok Sabha is 5 years. Here, the tenure of Lok Sabha means the tenure of the house, not the tenure of the member of the house. Okay, so the Lok Sabha remains for the 5 years. Okay, but this is the other thing, that if the Prime Minister thinks that, then the Lok Sabha could have been dissolved even earlier from 5 years. Now it depends on the wish of recommendation of the Prime Minister of India, because as per the Constitution of India, if the Prime Minister thinks that, then he or she can recommend the President of our country to dissolve the Lok Sabha even before the completion of 5 years. Okay, now it depends on, now we will move towards the Rajya Sabha. The tenure of the Rajya Sabha is a certain period of time, yes, because the Rajya Sabha cannot be dissolved. Once the Rajya Sabha is being established, then in this case it will remain forever. Okay, the major tenure of Rajya Sabha is not of its, although it is the main tenure of its members. So the tenure of the members is 6 years, but the tenure of Rajya Sabha is nothing, because it is a permanent house, unlike Lok Sabha. Okay, now we will move towards the tenure of the members of the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. As we discussed above, the tenure of the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, the tenure of the members of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, the Lok Sabha members' tenure is 5 years, but the Rajya Sabha member remains for 6 years. Okay, and the one thing is more, you will have to carefully understand, the 1/3 members of the Rajya Sabha gets retired after the gap of every 2 years. Yes, it is as per the Constitution provisions. Okay, in the Rajya Sabha, the 1/3 members of Rajya Sabha gets retired after the gap of every 2 years. You will have to memorize this, because this can appear into your exam and you will have to face the question. Okay, now it depends on you whether you want to memorize it or whether you want to rectify it. Okay, now we will move towards the qualification of the members of parliament. Five there are four qualifications being given in the constitution of India. Okay, and we will have to fulfill all of them, because the either of cannot be uh, cannot be meeting with your qualification process. Okay, so the for the Lok Sabha, the first condition is the person must be the citizen of India. As you all knows very well that if you wants to be a Lok Sabha member, then you must have been the citizen of India. It doesn't mean that you must be citizen by birth. Yes, unlike America, you are not required to be a citizen from birth. If you are a foreigner and you have obtained the citizenship anyhow, okay, as per the provision inscribed in the Constitution of India under Article 6 to 11, then in this case you are eligible to become the member of Lok Sabha. Understand what I'm trying to say? Yes. And the second condition is the person must not be insane and the insolvent. Here the insane means the person who is not in state of mind properly. Yes, if the person is not in a state of mind, then in this case such person cannot contest the election for the parliament. And the other thing is insolvent. Look, the first of all you will have to know the process of insolvency. Insolvency means when any person takes the debt from any other person, then in this case, and he is incapable to repay his debt, then in this case he can go to the government and can ask the help. And if the government will initiate his process, then in this case the government will initiate the process of liquidation and appoint the liquidator, and thereafter the entire assets of the of that person will be sold, and the entire money will be distributed among all the creditors in lieu of settlement. And once the settlement has been taken place, thereafter the creditors cannot ask for their money again. If they will ask, then in this case it will be considered as an offensive activity, and for that activity they can be punished. So that's why, but the problem is if you have been declared as an insolvent by the government of India, it means you have lost your trust. And if once you lose your trust, then in this case you cannot be on the post of member of parliament, because according to the Constitution of India, the post of member of parliament is the most stable post in our country, and that's why you cannot hold this post at all. Now the third condition, the most important condition, is the person must attain the age of 25 years. Okay, if you want to be the member of Lok Sabha, if you want to contest the election of Lok Sabha, then your age must be 25 years or more. Otherwise you will not be able to contest the election for the same, because according to the Constitution of India, the maturity is required if you want to be a member of Lok Sabha, because once you have attained the maturity, only then you can fulfill your obligation towards your constancy. So that's why this condition is very important. And the last condition is the person must not be hold any government services. We all know very well that there are two kind of government services in our country. The first is in central government, second is the state government. If you are in either of the government service, then in this case you cannot contest the election for Lok Sabha. Okay, so if you want to contest the election for Lok Sabha, first of all you will have to resign from your post, otherwise you will not be able to contest the election. So if you are in the central government job, then in this case you will have to resign, or even if you are in the state government job, still you will have to resign from your post, otherwise you cannot contest the election. So you will have to fulfill all these qualification, otherwise you will not be able to contest the election. Now we will move towards the Rajya Sabha. What are the qualifications to become the member of Rajya Sabha? As you all know very well that the condition are same except only one condition. This is a condition of age. We all know very well that the person must be the citizen of India, as in the case of Rajya Sabha, as in the case of Lok Sabha, and the person must not be insane and insolvent, as in the case of Lok Sabha. But here the change in terms of age. Yes, if you want to be a member of Rajya Sabha, then you must have attained the age of 30 years. Understand what I'm trying to say? Yes. And the last condition is the person must not be held any government services. We all know very well that if you are in the government services, whether it is in central government and state government, doesn't matter, you cannot hold the post of member of parliament, only because according to the constitution of India, if you wants to hold a post of Rajya Sabha or Lok Sabha, then you must be freed from all sorts of obligation, otherwise you will not be able to work for your own people from the constituency. So that's why according to the constitution of India, if you have already obligation under your belt, then in this case you cannot take the things in a better way. That's why if you want to be a member of Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha, first of all you will have to free from all sorts of responsibility of any obligation such as the government services. So that's why according to the constitution of India, if any person is in the services of government such as central government or state government, first of all you will have to resign from that, and thereafter you can contest the election. Now it depends, and now we will discuss about the distribution of the seats in the parliament. This is a very important, because we all know very well that the distribution of seats into the parliament is being referred as the allocation of seats. Now first of all we will have to understand the distribution of seats into the Lok Sabha. There are total seats 552. There are total seats 552, but actual present seats are 545. Out of them, the seats from states are 530 and the seats from UTs are 13, and the nomination by the president from the Anglo-Indian community 2. Now first of all we'll have to understand the process of nomination in the Lok Sabha. We all know very well that the Anglo-Indian community is that community which resides in India in a great deal, where either of the parent of a particular person is foreigner. Here the foreigner means the Britisher. Here the foreigner means is Britisher. So if any person have either of parent is from Britain, then in this case such person will be from the Indian Anglo community. Yes, from Anglo-Indian community. Okay, but nowadays the Anglo-Indian community reservation is going to be diminished very soon, because the bill in this regard is being taken place. Okay, and very soon it will be eliminated, it will be diminished. Okay, but still, because we have the process, so that's why I am explaining you. Okay, so now we will move towards the Rajya Sabha. Here the Rajya Sabha, the total seats 250, actual present seats 245. The actual present seats are 245. Seats from Legislative Assembly is 233, because the Legislative Assemblies elect the members and send them into 2000 and into 233 in the form of 233 members. And now the nomination made by President 12 members. Now they are those members of the parliament, they are those members of the Rajya Sabha who are being elected by the nominated by the President of India from the sectors of art, culture, and literature, and the social services. Okay, so this is all about the distribution of seats in Rajya Sabha. Okay, the total seats are 250, actual presence is 245, seats from Legislative Assembly 233, and nomination made by the President 12. Thus it makes 245, which is the actual right now. Okay, now so we are going to finish our first part of parliament today. Okay, so I will explain in my second part the overriding powers, not only the Lok Sabha but also of Rajya Sabha in the parliament. Okay, so thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. Okay, thanks.